They will die from the preventable diseases of undernutrition. Cancer, the single most profitable condition ever known to humankind. Cardiovascular disease, a good second. Diabetes, pretty good producer. And a whole host of other preventable diseases. Who will die? Who knows? Who will live? Probably those people who are wealthy enough and powerful enough to have their own pushers of clean food and nutrients. That's who will live. You and I? Probably not. Our children? Probably not. Our grandchildren? Probably not. So we're talking about food regulations that are in fact the legalization of mandated toxicity and undernutrition. It will be illegal if there's a famine in, wherever there's a famine, to ship high nutrient density biscuits to that country. And it will be illegal to distribute them. That's what we're talking about. Codex is big and it's bad, but it's not.
So the corporatization, Mussolini described fascism as a corporate takeover. And that's happening not only in America but Ireland. You see the evidence that the government are registered companies. This is why we have the situation in Rossport, because our oil and gas reserves had been given away to the Rockefellers in 1973 for 230,000 Irish pounds. But they don't want you to know that. There was a book called The Great Gas and Oil Robbery. It was written in, I think, in the 70s, I can't remember what date. It was published by Repsol. It is available if you find it. I haven't got a copy at the moment, but and if you think this is, like I said earlier, any of this is orchestrated, I happen upon an interesting book called Orwellian Ireland, which has been pulled. It's banned essentially, and the reason why it's banned is because it talks about a lot of this stuff. Waterstones will take it in. The rest of the bookshops are bought and sold, as is the rest of the media. I think this is the last image, is it? This is the last image. But I do want to mention one thing. I haven't anything on a group called Common Purpose, but if you go into the website, wethepeople.ie, and press Common Purpose, these are the secret group, silent coup d'etat, who are planted in every organ of the state. They've destroyed the whole health service. They are pulling down. They are dismantling the society from within. Silent destroyers. This is why nothing is working. This is why the health service is collapsing. So you'll see a clip from Brian Gerrish, a very credible man, an ex-senior Navy officer and a senior policeman who were holding the English government. They filed papers for high treason against the English government. This is also happening in Ireland. Some of us are preparing papers for the same process in Ireland here. So, I'm going to sum up this little talk here now. We're going to go into, if you want to take a break, it's up to yourselves. You can take a 5-minute break if you want to. But we're going to go into the documentary Freedom to Fascism by Aaron Russo, who since died. And he warns us about this. He explains the banking system, how we're trapped into a system. The guys will explain it later on. It'll be an empowering afternoon, how to reverse the headache with all this, because they have trapped us with the birth certificate. They float that on the stock exchange and they bonded. So we actually have us in bondage with the birth certificate. We're actually worth 15 million and 4 acres of the country's resources, every individual, every man, woman and child, but we do not have access to it. That bond is on the treasury holders, and we are endeavouring to get access to that. This is what a lot of the group is about. So thanks for everything, and take in Freedom to Fascism And we could have an open discussion to the floor maybe afterwards. We'll make it up as we go along. Thanks.
What happens if your own government is using more force and more coercion on its own citizens for the purpose of achieving its political ends? Is that government engaged in terrorism?
American people expect us to protect them and protect their civil liberties. I'm going to do that.
What is being sold to the American people today as Americanism, if you peel off the label, you find so much similarity to what we were fighting against when we were fighting communism and Nazism and fascism.
The government's now putting a national ID card together.
We will be carrying our papers, and they have recommended there be checkpoints throughout the country. Some type of a physical proof, such as fingerprints or retinal prints, have to be on it.
Desires of the people really have no consequence. They go out and they vote. Doesn't make any difference which candidate they elect.
Mr. Curtis, are there programs that can be used to secretly fix elections?
Yes.
This is absolutely Orwellian. I mean, it's talking about Big Brother looking over your shoulder at absolutely everything you do.
There is no constitutional basis for a tax on the wages of Americans living and working in the 50 states of the Union. Period. End of argument.
If Americans just learned that the IRS was actually knowingly deceiving them, that would be enough for them to rise up and put a stop to it.
You caught me unprepared.
I'll come back.
Well, I don't want to do that.
There had to be a law, right?
Where is the law? Show me the law.
Why is the Supreme Court decision a silly argument?
And I think we're finished.
They think it's the law, and they have all the guns. You know, it's an authoritarian approach.
Now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
The latest technology for identifying people when they make purchases is actually the implantable chip that you can actually embed directly into human flesh.
Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? You will rule on that, mark my words.
A chip in everybody would be the universal monetary system par excellence, because there'd be no escape from it.
Americans have been taught to expect their salvation from government instead of recognizing government as the most dangerous threat they'll face in their lives.
It is the greatest hoax ever perpetrated by government against the working men and women of America.
It's organized crime. All you do is you call the Republicans the Genoveses, and you call the Democrats the Gambinos.